Yeah, it looks like my voice has come through. Maybe it's still a little bit quiet. Let's turn that up. That looks better. Okay. So, last time around, you guys...
Wait, are we recording?
Yes, we are.
What the buck is up, every pony?
Ah, it feels so good to be back.
Yeah, got to keep our tradition strong. It has been many weeks, but we are happy to be back and bring a well-told English. See, we're starting off strong already. We're glad to be back and bringing a well-told story to you.
Yes. Alright, so last time, you guys were finishing off your travel back to Villager Town after dealing with things at Cerulean Tides. You managed to deal with one of the pirate vessels and succeed there, and you brought back the flying ship, which I believe you have now christened the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with a number of personnel to help with what's the word I'm looking for? Help man the ship, as well as crafters who will potentially help with carpentry that might be needed throughout the city.
Yes, we managed to get the Bonnie Blades, or whatever their group is called, to get hired on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And in hindsight, we should have given Captain Swiftgear money. In fact, that's something Milk Thistle is going to do. He's going to officially hire her, so that way she's not being paid with honor, because you can't buy the booze with honor.
Oh, you mean...
You mean Swift Gadget?
Yeah.
Her too.
Okay.
So yes, you guys arrived back at the city, and you did discover that there was... Sit still. That everything seemed to be gearing towards the Summer's Festival, the Sun Queen's Holy Day. Despite the looming approach of an army, the celebrations are still going ahead. And there's 2 days, the rest of today, tomorrow, and then the Sun's Summer Celebration will be happening. So you don't have very long left to do stuff. I believe Alexandra, you were doing some retraining.
Yes, and I've just finished it, I believe.
Yes. Well, you'll finish it on the just before the celebrations. Let's go. Burnt, you were helping train the troops, if I recall.
Yeah, and he still has to look into the Hall of Unification for the
Yes.
Chaos Knights stuff.
Lightning, obviously you weren't with us, so you didn't put any plans together.
Lightning might go look in the ruins of the Thief Guild, see if she can find anything that they might be able to use.
Well, I mean, sadly you've been away for like a week and a bit, so it's definitely been picked over.
But there might be a secret.
Secrets.
I mean, unless there was a secret you knew of that no one else did, then it's probably all been picked over. Because I mean, it is a den of thieves. If anyone's going to find it, it'd be the other thieves in there.
And maybe she might try and find some people who survived.
You would have to find out.
Get acquainted with the new heads and such.
Well, there were a number of deaths in regards to the leadership and stuff. Nightshine, you did some research, if I recall.
I did. I bothered you a lot.
And Milk Thistle. remember.
Milk Thistle is going to approach Swift Gadget and apologize for not paying her up front. The fact that we're going to be using her ship as a flagship means that she should be getting paid. So Milk Thistle is going to take. He's going to take 140 gold out of his inventory, and he's going to pass it over to her on the ship, and he's going to say, "You deserve compensation for the risk that you're taking. And as the Empire is being formed, we need someone who can captain the ship. Do you accept?"
I definitely deserve compensation for everything. She says, sort of happily taking the money.
The non-Nair Temple may need to call on you. Remember who's paying you.
Wait, you're paying me, or is somebody else paying me?
I am.
Alright, well then, the temple has nothing to do with it. You're the one who's paying me.
Very well.
She goes.
Right.
As she goes to, like, dealing with her new crew that you've hired her. She,
All right. Once that was done, Milk Thistle needs to go to the temple at right before midnight, because that's when Midnight Visions gives his sermons, and needs to speak to him about events.
Okay. No, that's fine. So, you want to do that. We do have Bird who wanted to poke in the, if I get it right, the unification halls. And Lightning, who's basically going to try and find where the Thieves Guild has kind of got off to, unless you were planning
Yeah.
other things.
Nah.
No. Okay. Alright, so we'll do people's stuff in the day. So, Lightning, you can use either some sort of information gathering skill like diplomacy, or if you've got something else you feel might fit.
I'll use diplomacy.
Alright, roll it blindly. We'll see how effective you are. While that's waiting for that roll to come in, Burns, are you just going
Yes.
to the unification hall and just having a look around?
He's gonna ask Steel for some assistance, because Steel knows this place better than he does.
Still is a little bit reluctant to go too far away from the Queen, building up to the what they're planning on doing. You can try and convince him to walk away. If you
Alright,
either can
let's-
use convincing words, or you can roll diplomacy if you don't feel very confident with that.
I will do a blind roll for diplomacy then.
Okay.
Alright, let's see. Oh, I just clicked on thing and it was like, oh, you got a whole bunch of words. I'm like, no, not all text. My worst enemy.
Alright. So, Lightning, with your go around investigating, you're able to come to the. Well, you're able to work out a few things. There's no official meet-up point at this point in time, and it seems that a lot of the thieves guilds are more breaking up into sort of individual areas. No sort of central meeting point. As there doesn't seem to be any kind of neutral ground, or what's considered neutral ground at the moment, and no one person seems to be strong enough to either bring everybody together or to have a dominant sort of hoof in it all. So there are some big players, but it's sort of more or less equal at this point in time. Nothing too much has come to blows, but it's probably something which will come more into effect once whatever happens with the humans is finished. But there's definitely the beginnings of like small divides and stuff like that.
Oh, great gangs! I love it.
Yes. Like I said, there's potential for it to go full on proper gangs and be a bit more like gang warfare stuff, depending on what might happen. But that's where things are at the moment.
Oh boy.
All right, we need to unite all the gangs, warrior style.
Yep.
Sounds like a job for me to unite everybody. I'm totally good at that.
Alright. Bert,
Yes.
you rolled that number. He is a fairly creature towards you. So his is that, so his DC is that, technically speaking, but you are trying to convince him to do something. He won't look like it has him. Oh, it gives you bonuses. Okay, so I just basically set the DC. Oh wait, no. So he gives a he spends a long moment thinking, and gives out a sigh and goes, "There's not been many who have come down here, so we can or I can bear a moment where we can go and investigate."
Understood.
He indicates to a locked door nearby. There's a door that we can leave through, and will seal behind us, so no one will hopefully know that we are gone.
Fair enough.
Steele adjusts his, takes off one of his bracers and places it back on himself, and the outfit he's wearing sort of magically changes to something that sort of like hides his features a little bit and doesn't make him stand too much out in the crowd. As he does move though, he's still making the clanging noise like he's wearing armour. You can't
Fair
hide,
enough.
can't hide that.
Yeah.
He will basically take you up to the unification halls. The ground itself is still quite busy with troops and stuff, but sort of still seems to be able to. He moves through the grounds like he knows it fairly well, and sort of guides you towards a more side entrance away from where most people are. And you basically will start walking through the ruins of the unification hall. Obviously,
Right.
it was very clear it was once quite a grand palace, but time and neglect have obviously taken their hold, and it will need some overhauling to get it back up to what it once was.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be expected. As a walk, Bernd is going to be rolling, or I'm going to roll perception to see if he can't spot anything that would resemble something from the Chaos Knights.
Yeah.
So let's see.
You can give me a perception. So
I mean, all right.
So as you're walking through, you're looking around. You're picking out sort of what various things what sort of stand out to you or anything like that. Still doesn't seem to sort of react, or at least as far as you can tell, he doesn't look like he's looking around. It's almost like he knows where he's going. You don't see anything that jumps out at you that indicates Chaos Hunters or anything like that. And still brings you to a corridor, what comes to basically a dead end. And he points out something hidden in one of the sort of edges of the walls, and kind of at the ground level. And he does have to move some furniture so you can actually see it very clearly. And he points the symbol out to you and goes, this symbol here marks a hidden door of a particular group. If you know the right command word, the doorway will open for you. What you are looking for is something like this.
I see. Hey, Steel, do you have a image of what the symbol looks like?
Not this one, no. But you have seen it before. It looks... what's the banner you've got on you at the moment?
I have the banner of the Easter. It's the Order of the Eastern Star, I believe. Let me see. Banner.
Specifically, it's the one that represents the Queen's inner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Queen's inner circle.
What you will notice is there's a symbol on that. What doesn't stand out too much, but it's amongst the banner, and it is there on the wall.
All right.
Each group have their own symbols. It might not necessarily... Some of the badges were more open, some of them are more hidden. I'm not aware fully of the Chaos Hunters one, but I do believe that it did bear the mark... it did incorporate the mark of chaos amongst the symbol. So that will help it stand out compared to others.
Indeed. He's gonna take some time to study the symbol, and would it be to recall something from my stats? It would be wisdom, right?
I mean, you can just say you recall this symbol, or if you make a note of it in your like notes and stuff, then you don't have to roll or anything.
All right. He's gonna recall and memorize what the symbol looks like.
I mean, it's on your banner, so you don't have to think too hard.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just been way too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. Still says this is not the symbol you are looking for, but you are looking for something like this elsewhere in the unification halls. Once you have found it, you then have to work out the correct command word. It's not normally in Sylvan. It is normally in a different language, normally one which won't be so openly spoken, so less chance of somebody accidentally opening the door.
I see. All right. Thank you very much, Steel. I'll take my time to look around and see what I can find.
What's the elven word for friend?
Given that Sylvan is based upon the Elven language, it's probably not going to be an Elven.
Yeah. I just wanted to keep the reference.
Ew,
Yeah.
we share a language with the elves?
Yes.
Disgusting.
I'm afraid so.
Wash my mouth out.
Well, Sylvan is a more... if it makes you feel any worse, Sylvan is a very musical language, and as you talk, it does almost feel like you're about to break out into song.
Oh God.
Well, I just remembered Milk Thistle doesn't speak Sylvan, so I feel much better about myself.
All right. Yeah. So, Bernd is going to be exploring the ruins of the Unification Hall and seeing if he can't find the exact same symbol.
All right. So, I mean, that'll probably be what you're doing for the next few days,
Yeah.
amongst obviously training troops, I assume.
Mhm.
Um,
Yep.
with that, still gives you, well, looks to you and goes, is there anything else that is the best assistance I can give you? Is there anything else before I take my leave?
Offhand, not that I can think of, but I do appreciate the help. It it is a massive help to me, and I wouldn't really know where to have started without your assistance, Steel.
He gives a nod of his head and will make his way out.
Okay, I begin to start my search.
So, well, unless you have anything to help you narrow it down, you are basically needle haystack in this.
All right.
Or at least to start with, anyway. Um,
Yeah.
so you can you have 2 days worth of searching, so you can make the rest of the day and then obviously tomorrow. So you can make 2 perception tests, both hidden.
All right.
Um,
Yeah.
and as the higher the roll, you might not necessarily find it on the first day, but if you roll high enough, it will at least decrease the DC for any following days.
Right.
Alright, so over the 2 days of searching, you are not able to find any additional symbols as of yet.
Take me longer to search, but that's okay.
Yeah, I mean you are doing some troop training, so you're not able to dedicate as much time as you would have liked to it, basically.
Yeah. I mean, troop training is just as important right now, so.
Which is true. But that's what you're doing. Um, Milk Thistle, you're the only other person who haven't come to yet, and I believe you plan to talk to. Yeah.
Midnight Vision.
Yeah, Midnight Vision.
So yes, Milk Thistle will go to the temple, finished his business with Captain Quick Gadget, and is the Nightmare Temple on the eastern side?
Alright, so you can, if you scroll in close enough, you can kind of make out some symbols. I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe they're on one of the lower floors, and I think it's on this side because I can slightly make out the moons, I think.
All right, well, Milk Thistle will enter the Nightmare Temple, and he'll inform one of the servants there that he needs to speak with Midnight Vision as soon as he's available.
You would be able to. I mean, when it goes dark, he is up. Well, he's actually probably up before nightfall because it's summer. But so if you want to speak to him before your ceremonies, he's more than available later in the evening.
All right, then yes, we'll do that.
Okay. Um, he will greet you in probably in the main chamber, and asks if this is a more private discussion or if it's a one we can have here.
This is a private discussion, sir.
He gives a nod and indicates for you to follow him and takes you into one of the back rooms so that you can sit down and talk.
And Up to this point, Milk Thistle's been speaking in common except for the greeting and the exit, but he's going to be having the conversation strictly in Infernal with him.
That is fine. He will communicate in Infernal, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, he'll be able to do that, speak to you back. Uh, I'm having trouble with English. He would be able to speak back to you in Infernal.
High Priest, I have a lot of news for you. Most of it is good. In regards to what has taken place in Cerulean Tides, we've managed to destroy one of the pirate ships and bring back the ship all in one piece. Four of the pirates were captured and turned over to the authorities here at Cerulean Tides, and the ship was returned. Bounty was given, and with that, we were able to secure an entire crew as well as a captain for the airship that is docked here now. I have taken the liberty to pay both the captain and the crew out of my own pockets, so they are well within our pockets.
It appears that things are moving on well, and you are gaining allies in many valuable places.
Burned Requiem has sought out the Chaos Knights. I don't know if they've ever served the Nightmare Temple before, but if they have, with him serving the Nightmare, we could bring them into our fold as well.
Well, as lawful followers, there have been a few Chaos Knights in the distant past that have fallen under our wings.
If we could assist him in reforming the Chaos Knights and helping him become one, bringing them into our fold will give us even greater influence as the empires continue to be formed.
That would prove difficult at this point in time, as one must be chosen as it is said they must be chosen as a Chaos Knight, rather than what's the word? Rather than it's a destiny that needs to choose you rather than sometimes you seeking it out. But we will certainly assist if and where we can. But it is greatly limited to what assistance on this we can help. As much as it may sound odd, this may be one that it will be worth speaking to a priest of the author, as it is said once you walk down the path of a chaos hunter, the author rewrites your story. And that is why many who say is the reason that your brand of destiny changes as you begin that path.
Wishful Pin has been traveling with us. Would she be of assistance, or should we travel higher?
I believe she is luminance, is she not?
She is. Forgive me.
But it is easy. There are not many followers of the author, or at least most follow her in their more quieter ways. She's not a deity you can commune with, or has any obvious effects upon this plane, and no one even knows what her true self is. There is mere hints of what she may look like. But
High Priest, the main reason I've sought you out is I need your wisdom. While we were fighting against the pirates, I had prepared a spell that would have boosted our strength tremendously. And when I called out to the Nightmare to strengthen all of us, I was attacked and I had lost my concentration and the spell was gone. We still managed to destroy the pirates and take command of the ship. I believe the nightmare was saying that we simply needed to rely on our own strength in order to accomplish that. Shortly thereafter, I had a dream. There were small holes appearing all over my legs and my chest, and inside they were filled with shiny black seeds. I attempted to interpret the dream myself, and from what I could gather, the seeds are a symbol of growth or something starting, buried in the holes of my body, possibly because someone has been preparing me for something, potentially representing the seeds that I have planted and that I'm nurturing myself. The seeds could represent something from my personal life, but as with dreams, nothing is ever certain. Do you have anything that you can help me with this?
It seems you have at least interpreted it very well, or at least how many will interpret such things. But as you indicated, the nature of dreams, their true nature can be very elusive, and we can merely look at the symbolism within it. So, obviously, seeds, as you mentioned, growth, or well, growth, also the beginnings of growth. So, your symbolism in that is quite correct. Were the holes always in your body, or did they grow and then seeds grew out of the holes, or were they planted into the holes? Or do you not know?
From what I can recall, the holes appeared on my legs, so they weren't always there. And as for the seeds, I don't know if the seeds were in my body already or if they were simply placed within the holes.
So still some dark areas. Well, the holes upon your body, as they weren't there before, indicates opening or possibly wounding. So you can interpret that as you have to open wounds to plant new seeds or to expect new growth, or have to suffer some sort of injury potentially. That is one way of looking at it. The other is simple, the nature of planting. You obviously have to make a hole in the ground to begin planting, and it could be just building upon that symbolism. As you can already see, the true nature of dreams can sometimes be hard to interpret, and even sometimes for us more seasoned individuals, the true nature of a dream may be elusive until the moment when the clarity of what it means comes true. So, but but dreams are also quite personal. So what I believe it might not necessarily be true, as they can very well build upon your own personal belief rather than what somebody else may see. As said, for all we know, do you know what colour the seeds were?
They were shiny and black.
So it's possible that instead of seeds, that they were potentially shiny pebbles, but you interpreted them as seeds, and perhaps they represent a black mark um, or or even a black void opening. I mean, I'm possibly going very much off on a tangent here, but this is just to indicate of the even more elusiveness of dreams. So,
Milk Thistle.
sorry.
Milk Thistle strokes his beard as he's listening.
So,
We did
carry on.
we did recently have an encounter with the priest of Kara. Lightning Streak, as I'm sure you're aware, has recanted her worship of Kara, and as a result, the priest gave her a gift of shiny black beetles. I was astonished that she would touch them or accept them in any way, but she has, and I can't tell if she's any worse for the wear. And while there were not bugs crawling into my body, they did share the same luster and color. Is there any connection?
Kara has always been more insects rather than stones or gems. So unless they crawled into your body or were crawling out of, I believe it's unlikely.
Very well. Everything I've done up to this point has meant to bring honor and influence to the nightmare.
And
I wonder, High Priest, should I be acting to bring influence to the temple so that we as a community can expand and influence over this empire, or should I focus strictly on the nightmare herself?
that is a difficult one. All I can say is that we each have a path to walk. And I know that my journey brings me here to help um, help those that find their way to this temple and guide them as best as I can. For you, with your travels and journeying to many places across Everglow, it is possible that it is to obviously help expand and strengthen the name of the nightmare. But if you feel that your connection is wavering and perhaps you don't fully feel as close to the nightmare as what you once have, perhaps you need to spend some time reconnecting with her. Each choice is very much a personal decision. I would say do not think about what will always benefit everybody else, but what would necessarily benefit you. As if you cannot make it on your own strength, then possible, it may not be worth it. I'm sure you have your own selfish desires of what you want.
I do.
It's possible that you want to seek out those desires. You have done an awful lot to try and expand, but you've attempted to expand with the aid of others or helping others try and realise potential. And I am assuming it's proved difficult.
It has. Things never go the way you intend, and sometimes you barely get by.
It is it is one of the more challenging natures of having to work within the bounds of others and rely on others' strength. If or hoping that they can show their strength. That's why a strong leader to help, well, I wouldn't say with the word guide, I would say more command them to the right conclusion is sometimes better, rather than a helpful teacher to guide them.
I understand. High Priest, as the days come, I'll ponder what you said and attempting to reconnect with the nightmare directly. In the meantime, what services does the temple require of me?
At this moment in time, we are preparing for a celebration. It is not ours, and we don't pay too much part, but there is an awful lot more symbolism going on than normal. With the growing darkness on the horizon, those within these walls will require something strong to keep their hearts aflame when times are going to be difficult. and so we are ensuring that the Sun's Summer Festival will prove to be a strong point for people to reflect upon. There is also a few other surprises that will be going on, which will be announced upon the day, but it's quite possible that you may already know or have an idea what I am referring to.
Yes. Speaking of goings on, how does Crystal Heart's faith grow?
It seems it's been a little while. I believe he's learned that there are ways to soothe the nightmares, but to show him that a nightmare is not necessary or is not as no, I'm trying to get the right word here. Is not the cuddling mother that, say, the Sun Queen is. I've sent him away so he can enjoy the nightmares, and I've instructed him not to return until he's can give me a true meaning of them, just to let him know that the nightmares are to be feared, but as well embraced.
And at that, Milk Thistle smiles slightly.
And I'm sure he'll be returning in a day or two. Given that there is I did give him a point to last up to, but I did tell him if he can last longer too, and to see if he can impress the nightmare. But I expect he'll be back on the shorter end of the time frame rather than the longer. But the only other thing that is taking a lot of time is obviously preparations for the upcoming battle.
Yes, we have brought many crafters, many bows, and many arrows for the citizens here. Everyone should be armed and be capable of fighting in some fashion.
It is likely that I'm sure all of those will be put to use. There is much that we don't fully know as of yet, but I believe the temple being a more central point is likely to be a place for the wounded to come, and those that are too young or too old to fight are likely to call sanctuary. Or at least I believe that may be the initial plan, depending on what happens shortly after the fighting begins, and things will probably rapidly change.
Understood.
But there will be many of those that who will go out and fight and will command, and it's likely that a number of our more dedicated fighters will lead forces of civilians to help guide them, or at least lend a hoof to those that are fighting, be it healing or for more of a support or protection for those that are that need help. Depending on the situation, obviously.
Milk Thistle looks down toward the floor, deep in thought for a moment. High Priest, I am suddenly inspired. I have a mission that I will seek out with your leave.
Well then, may the watchful eye of the nightmare guide your steps.
And may her terror give you strength. And he gives a bow.
He will give you a bow in return.
All right. So, leaving here, Milkthistle is going to seek out Burned Requiem. He knows he would have gone to the Unification Hall, so he's going to be traveling there to see if he can catch him.
Yeah, I mean, he's walking around. He's probably carrying a lantern and stuff like that, so it's probably not going to be too difficult to
Yeah.
find.
Yeah, he would be carrying it.
All right, so yeah, Milkthistle travels north up to the Unification Hall. What kind of activities are going on down these roads that Milkthistle's traveling down?
So you go around there. Okay, so there seems to be a lot in regards to what appears to be construction and crafting of siege equipment in this area. It appears to be like the beginnings of pieces. Looks to be trebuchets, catapults, those sort of things, as well as you do get the sense of more industry type things going on over here. So probably the sound of metal being hammered and that sort of thing. The central park is. It looks like they're setting up a lot of tents and stuff in this central park area. And these sort of upper areas where you are, there seems to be more movement of, I don't want to say soldiers, probably more civilian, what's it called, militia, as they're possibly running, practicing marching, or various things like that. So it seems to be more of a military area up in this north bit.
Good to go. All right, so Milkthistle approaches the Unification Hall, and when he enters, he's going to be looking for someone inside with a lantern. Maybe he can catch sight of him.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to take you a few minutes, 10 maybe. You'll probably eventually catch the glimpse of a light point, which will give you an indication of where to head to.
Yeah. By this time, Burned is probably going to be sitting down for a bit of a break, as he's been working and lurking. What am I saying? uh, Looking around a fair bit. He's just like, oh. He When you catch up to him, he looks like he's deep in thought about something, and his back is like uh, pressed up against the wall, and he just has a very deep in thought look on his face.
What have you discovered?
Huh. Oh. Huh. Sorry about that. I was just reflecting on something. Um, I discovered a symbol much like the banner, and Steele told me that there was another symbol somewhere here in the building that I would have to find. Yeah. So far, I haven't really had much luck finding the correlating symbol. What time is it? He says as he looks up to Milk Thistle.
Looking at our clock, it's currently at 11:27, but I don't think that's accurate to in-game time.
No, that's not accurate to in-game time at the moment. I haven't moved it forward, given I don't want to jump too far ahead in the timeline just yet.
Fair enough.
I estimate it's around 8 p.m., maybe 9 p.m., because it's already dark outside.
Wow, I've been at this for a while. He excuse me. He gets up and uh, shakes himself a bit to sort of relax his muscles. I've been trying to find it, as I've said, no luck. I feel like it's here somewhere, and it's gonna take a bit longer for me to find. What's up?
Burned. What is the core tenet of worshipping the nightmare?
To fear her and to to obey her commands, I believe, right?
And one of the things she commands of us is to be self-reliant. We do not draw our strength from her. We give her our strength, and she returns it in favor.
I see.
You are hereby commanded to seek out a priest of the author. Find her, but find her you will.
All right.
With that,
There's.
with that, Milk Thistle's going to leave.
All right. Yeah. Birdie's gonna wait a few minutes for Milk Thistle to leave, and he's gonna take one last cursory glance before he heads out as well. So let's see. Does he know that there's a wing for the author in the temple?
You've gone in there a number of times, but you haven't actually looked for the author. You can make. Do you have knowledge religion?
Let me see. Knowledge. No, I do not.
Okay, so you are not fully sure then. I'm afraid, because you don't have knowledge religion, it's not something that will jump to mind. But being a pony, you will at least be aware of what her symbol looks like.
All right.
Which I'm going to tell you once I find her symbol. 1 second.
All right.
I believe it's something to do with an open book, but so is Princess Luminance's, so I don't want to get too confusing.
Where's my physical book? That way I can help.
Princess Luminance. Alright, let's go for the beginning.
Hyperblood.
Okay, so.
Oh man.
Blaze, Moon Princess, Sun Queen, Nightmare. Sheila the Author, here we go.
Here it is.
Okay, so her holy symbol is an open tome with bands of destiny displayed. Also, brands of destiny displayed.
Alright, so what he's gonna do, because it's always a good idea to start, he's gonna head to the temple and see if he can't get in contact with one of the priests.
Alright. While you're heading there, I just want to check with one other person, which is Lightning. Was there anything in particular you wanted to do with your guildies? You can hook up with some of the members of the group you were part of. Some of them might have split up into different places, but you at least have some contacts. Lightning?
Huh? Yeah. What's up?
Was there anything in particular you wanted to do with the Thieves Guilds or anything like that? Because the only other thing you could do is hook up with some members of your particular guild. They may have split it up to go to different places, some of them, because of obviously the head was a bit mangled.
Well, hey, I can finally use my leadership feature, and try and gather up some of the Thieves Guild members to actually, fall into that leadership stuff.
Yes, this is something which the GMs might be slowly kicking you towards.
Could I roll a diplomacy for that?
Just give me an outline of your plans or what you're going to attempt or try and do and who with.
basically she's gonna try and convince them that she should be the leader of the Thieves Guild due to everything she's, done for the Thieves Guild, even, driving off the thing that destroyed the Thieves Guild, potentially killing it too, and the one who was controlling it.
Who are you targeting? Who are you going to be trying to talk to?
Thieves Guild members that she knows that were cool with the old Thieves Guild leader, because he was cool with the old Thieves
Yeah.
Guild leader.
When you say Thieves Guild leader, do you mean the one you were working for?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to check that clarification, because there are a few other leaders of different groups. So.
Yeah.
Alright, no, that is
She's
fine.
mainly targeting them, but she will see if anyone else wants to join her and be like, yeah, sure, she's pretty cool.
No, that is fine. You may attempt your diplomacy check.
Blind.
No, this one you probably will realise the results fairly quickly, to be honest.
Can I take a 20?
No, because there is negatives of fail. Well, you took 20 anyway.
Hey!
Nice.
So, oh, McFish was talking his infernal again. I can only tell because I can see lightning screaming and go, ah, he's talking infernal. Anyway, yeah, so with that, it's not hard to convince those that you excuse me that you had worked for before, or at least had been in part of your old guild to come and basically work for you rather than working for who they decided to sort of throw the hat in. So you don't have a home base yet, but you have at least the beginnings of being head of a thieves guild, basically.
Yeah.
You have some small, low-level thugs that you can send out and do various things like errand running, deliveries, pickup. You've got enough that if you don't have to do a lot of the legwork within the city, and
Right.
you can deal with minor problems. But you probably want to consider where you want to try and make a home base.
Is there anyone near the old Thieves Guild? Would that be knowledge local?
Yes, if you do knowledge local, you'll get an idea of basically the different group areas. And I'm gonna
Oh, wait, can I just roll knowledge local to find a good place to actually, like...
you can use knowledge local to give you a potential area you can try and set up in.
Yeah. Is that a blind or public?
It will be blind because you don't know if you pick a good or bad spot. Okay. So you do know there's numerous, obviously, guilds around. Now, you can have.
I rolled low.
You've got a few choices. You can attempt to try and utilise the site where everything originally was, as it is, because you went and visited there. It is abandoned, but you are aware that other rogues can be kind of superstitious with certain things, so it might be a bad form to set up in that area.
Right.
Just south, though, nearby, you do have your own home, which you can attempt. The only other place what might be suitable would be somewhere around this area here. As
Where's that?
let me just get the pen.
Beside the lost boar, directly north of the gate.
Yeah, so in this sort of area here, as it's near the gate, and it is kind of, it is amongst other guilds, so you will be sort of very almost front center, so you will be in the mix of things almost straight away. So that way your face will be shown very quickly. But you are going to be fairly close to other guilds. There won't be much breathing room, basically.
Well, I do plan to get those gangs and unite them all anyway, so that actually seems like a good place to set up. So,
Alright. You just need to pick a building in that area. Draw a
alright, let me
pink
see what.
blob around it, basically, use the draw tool.
Oh, you want me to like draw which building's mine?
Yeah, well, which building you're going to try and take.
Are there any that seem like they're not taken?
Most of them, I mean, some of them may have, like, people living in them and stuff like that. But most of them around this area are designed to house, like, multiple people. They are the more lower market stuff because you're obviously more crammed in there and everything. So
Right.
the only ones who might consider something a little bit better off are those who live near the well. We've got a bit of greenery here. Anyone around that area might be a bit better.
You know, I kind of like the look.
Oh,
How do I draw?
yeah, you got the right tool. You want a thing that looks like a strange signature you want to click on. Yeah, that one. That should let you draw.
I like the look of that. This building.
Okay.
Near the middle, multiple exit points, all that.
Alright. You have one family living in that building, and you have a choice. You can have them cohabiting with the beginnings of your guild, or you can choose to run them out. There are plenty of other places for them to go to, as a good portion of the city is abandoned. So they won't be like out in the streets for long, but it's your choice. You can either let them stay or you can get them to leave.
How much is the average, I want to say, rent? I want to say living cost.
Living costs. Oh, there is something for living costs. 1 second.
Like average living cost per month or something.
Yeah. Let me just find out for you. I might have to look somewhere else. Cost of living, is this? Yes, this is the Ponyfinder one. Alright, so you are in what would be considered the poor area. So it would be about 3 gold a month. Living costs.
Alright. 3 gold a month.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna walk up to this family. And I will offer them 36 gold to find a new house and have a year's worth to set up, basically.
So you're basically going to buy them out.
Yes. I'm literally just walking up to them and saying, hey, I will pay you $100 to fuck off.
How much?
Boy,
you'd
you're
be-
already with the government.
How much gold was it again?
You said I will give them basically a year's worth of living.
Okay, so there's 8 months in the year, so that's 24 gold.
Oh, I thought it was 12.
No, there's
I give him 36 gold.
36 gold. Okay. No, that's fine. That's what I just wanted to check.
So basically over a year now. A
Yes.
year and a half.
So you give them 36 gold to bugger off, and yeah, that they will. Um, they they will take time removing their belongings unless you rush them.
No, she will wait. She is going to be a kind person.
Okay.
You leave by this date.
She's also gonna have her men like keep a lookout, see if see if anyone's watching.
No, that's fine. All right. So this is just like the early stages of you building a criminal empire, so to speak.
Yeah.
It's going to it's you're not gonna it's gonna be a slow build, but then eventually stuff will start happening. So
Yeah, it'll start laying. It'll start. What is it? Snowballing.
yeah, um, we've got the war about or potential war about to come. So too much probably won't happen until during or after that type of thing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So the next sort of day will probably be with sorting out things there, like sorting out like who's going to be doing certain roles, like just standing around, trying to expand sort of the area, making sure that people know that you look over this area and attempt to coerce the populace who live in this particular area that they might have to pay protection money to you, those sort of things, or depending on how you want to go about it. Your homework, so to speak, is to work out how you want to run your gang. So think of some like gang rules or some code they have to abide by.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to do.
Wait, they like think it over the week or.
You can think it over the week, but I
Yeah.
want it by next week at the latest.
Right.
So if you figure stuff at the end of the session, I'll take it at the end. That's,
Yeah, because I've also got some things I gotta think of, like who in this gang is more outstanding than the rest of them and all that.
yeah. Oh,
I gotta know who's at the top of my ladder and the bottom of my ladder.
actually, just before I think I forget it, I should give you an idea of what, because you rolled really well in your diplomacy. So, what is your? Let's go check some things.
You're about to say what's my leadership score, aren't you?
I know how to work out your leadership score. I just need to know what your charisma modifier is.
My charisma modifier. My charisma is.
Plus
Go
two.
to the next page, which is attributes.
Oh, that's there. My charisma is 17 with a +3. It's my second highest skill.
+3. You guys on level 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, cool.
Yeah.
So +3, 1, 2, 3. But
You can tell what my attribute increase is going to be on level 8.
We'll go to there.
My only odd skill.
Great renown. Okay, I'll give you that. You on that. You've only just got that, so you don't get that bonus. I will give you a -1 because of that, mostly. So that brings you at that level. Okay, so your gang is kind of small at the moment. You have 5 followers at level 1.
Right.
They will, obviously, as you level up, that will increase anyway. And as you start to build things, there will be other things that will give you bonuses, basically. There are obviously things that will give you negatives.
Yeah.
But you're at 10 at the moment.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
So my cohort is also level 7. Oh wait, there
Yeah.
can only be two.
Yeah, they can
You gonna
only be
start
two legs below.
cosplaying and selling Fey Leaf on the streets now?
Not quite yet. But, I mean, eventually they can work their way to selling drugs on the streets.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that gives you an idea. You've got a maximum of 5 people to order around at any one time. But you can grow from there. Alright. Was there anybody else who, before I jump back to Burnt, was there anybody else who like wanted to do anything in particular?
Milk Thistle is going to be prepping spells and then preparing to go visit Crystal Heart at his home.
How dare you?
Are we doing the same thing?
Oh, yo, you can have a dragon as a
No.
cohort? That's cool.
You're not having a dragon.
What is Nightshine doing? You've been quiet.
Yes.
Oh, I doing research at the library.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's researching. I don't think there was anything else you wanted to do other than your research. At least not until like the end of tomorrow. I think you might want to do something.
Not until the festival, no.
Not till the festival. Understood.
Milk Thistle can wait until tomorrow.
Okay, so Burnt, just want to see what are you doing for your time at, well, heading towards here. How you're going to find your priest.
All right. Well, he needs to find a priest of the author, so he's gonna ask around and use diplomacy to gather information on if there might be any priests of the author around.
Okay, you won't have to roll diplomacy for this one. You're probably in one of the most more friendlier places where if you start asking about gods, you'll probably get a straight answer.
All right. Yeah. So he.
All what I need to know is more exactly what you're asking.
He's gonna ask if there's a temple of the author within the building.
You were told there is. You actually walk right past it to get to probably speak to this person, and they point you back towards the central hall. So the big sort of entrance room is where everybody walks in from, and he actually points to the central centerpiece of the entrance hall, which is a large scroll with many signs of destiny upon it.
All right. He is going to enter the temple of the author and.
No, it's just the entrance hall with her holy symbol stated there. There is no temple, so to speak.
Okay, so in that case, he's going to be examining the scroll with all the different brands on it, and he's gonna start looking for the one about the Chaos Hunters.
So you start examining the marks of destiny, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I need to check one minor detail on one thing. Bear with me 2 seconds, just before I start describing things. Here we go. No, almost the right place. Here we go. It's like one of those moments where you go, right, I'm pretty sure it's this, and then I suddenly go, it might not be. Like, quiet brain, I do know things. And then you, right, here we go. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Alright, so it is just that. So you look over the many symbols upon there. So even though the scroll is quite large, the brands of destiny on there are fairly small. So there's an awful lot inscribed upon there, literally littering all of littering the whole tome, so to speak. And you're trying to find something to represent the Chaos Hunters, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you are looking. Roll me perception, unless you feel a different skill will be suitable.
Oh, well, perception is only a +3. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Blind. You don't know if you.
Yeah.
If there is,
Yeah, I did.
That's fine. So you start scanning the symbols, and I mean, there's lots of them on there. They've obviously made use of all of the space, and you start to go a little bit cross-eyed um, after spending probably about a good half an hour just trying to look at symbols and stuff like that. And you start seeing sort of symbols that you think you kind of half recognise, but you're not 100% sure. Just like you kind of look at it and go, I think I've seen that brand before, but I'm not 100% sure. But not one that thinking about it, that leaped out at you looks to be like a Chaos Hunter symbol, but at least you're not noticing one right away.
I see. I am going to. I don't think I have a magnifying glass. That would make this a lot easier as if I actually remembered to buy one.
Well, you would have to get close up with magnifying glass, I
Yeah.
don't know if the temple guards will tackle you if you start trying to climb the tome to look at it. But I mean, you can find
Sure.
out if they will tackle you.
Yeah. Do I want to try that? No. Because that's just a bad idea.
I'm just going to climb this holy symbol.
Yes. Oh god, that was actually funny. He's gonna take his time to read over it. Is there? I think I could take a. Would I be able to take 20 while I'm doing this?
You can take 20. All you're going to do
Alright.
is sacrifice time.
Which I'm fine with. So, let's see. Taking 20 plus my perception of 3, that would be 23.
23. Okay, that's fine. Right, you start taking 20. Um, you spend a good portion of this night looking over, and you will, in the wee morning or the wee hours of the morning, you will come across a symbol, um, which look which is a circle. What has almost like a diagonal line across it, and you have arrows coming off it at different intervals, and you've got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. You've got 8 arrows coming off, almost like a compass marks on it, and you feel once you lay your eyes upon it, it almost like it draws you in as you look upon it.
Alright.
I can give you a very quick, crude MS Paint drawing of it if you want a better idea of what it looks like.
I mean,
MS Paint incoming.
yeah, sure, why not? Is there a description next to it?
No, all this book is full of is just brands of destiny.
Ah,
There are no words.
fair enough.
Have no words.
No,
Words. Who needs words? All we need are the pictures.
I mean, pictures are the best part.
Yeah, I mean, those are always the better kinds of books. I mean, who wants to read Moby Dick when you could read a picture book about it?
See? And everyone loves pictures. Oh, God, that looks like almost like okay. Some of these lines are meant to be straight.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be that colour. You get the idea. And then coming off that. That's probably what you should be careful around. And we will make that a nice flat part. Okay. Save this this wonderful masterpiece. Just save that there. Now I've got to find where I saved it and drag it into Discord. Go away. Pictures. Search for this word. There it is. Okay. Discord. Let's throw it in still game. Here we go. Here's my wonderful masterpiece.
That's. I mean, it's not that bad.
But yes, that is basically the symbol. I mean, I've added colour to it, but technically it's just carved in stone.
All right. Bernd is gonna take out his ink pen, and a piece of parchment, and he's going to. He does it. He's not good at art, but he draws it as best he can, and he's going to put it back in his backpack, and uh, well, since he couldn't find a priest about, so he is going to. I really wish I put rank in knowledge religion. He
I mean,
he is going
you
to,
you
let's see.
you can ask if you would know certain things because obviously religion is a huge part of this world. There are some things that is common knowledge, so you can always ask.
Yeah. He is going to ask one of the one of the nearby priests if they by chance know the not the mantra, but one of the prayers for the author, simply to give his respect.
Oh, the author is so obscure. I can't think of something off the top of my head.
Rubber dub dub, thanks for the grub. Amen.
Not quite.
You're all-star.
Oh, you're an all-star. Game on, go play.
Yeah.
Oh God. No, if it was All Star, that would be like.
I need to see if there's like a prayer hymn for that version, that song now.
So, basically, most of her sort of common like sayings or like simple words of prayer would be something related to fate, um, uh, your destiny, your story. Some do see like indications of if somebody refers to you as like really lucky or basically fate's on your side, it's that people believe it's the author, obviously writing your benefit, sort of thing. So one common saying is, "May your story may your story end well, or may your story lead you to happiness." Um, the keyword story there referring to your life.
All right. In that case, he is going to walk up to the holy symbol, being a respectful distance away so as not to, be tackled by any of the guards.
As long as you don't start climbing it, then you'll probably be fine.
Yeah, he's gonna give the author his thanks and respect, and give her, well, yeah, her a brief, not so much abridged, but a summary as to what happened in his life, and that he's thankful that that she allowed him to, well, that she wrote in his story that he met up with the others and formed bonds. And then he's gonna, as soon as he finishes that, he's gonna give her may your story end well, and give a respectful bow and head out to meet up with the others. I'm guessing over at,
Well, when I say wee hours of the morning, you're probably looking at 3 a.m.
Oh, all right. Well, in that case, he's probably gonna head back to the ship then, and just pass out.
Okay, that's fine. Let's bring everybody to Advanced Dawn, which brings us a scattered clouds, but mostly clear. How much is it? Fahrenheit. It's still Fahrenheit. 36 Fahrenheit, whatever temperature that is. Which I think is chilly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're asking a Canadian here, so.
Well, we've got plenty of Americans here, shouldn't I?
I think we have two.
Are we needed to convert Fahrenheit to communist terms?
Fahrenheit to scientific, yes.
All right, scientists and communists, got it. All right, so temperature 36 degrees Celsius is 96 degrees Fahrenheit, but we need the opposite of that. We need Fahrenheit to Celsius. No, dadgummit. All right, 36. 2.222222222, etc. degrees Celsius.
Okay, so it's 2 degrees. Okay.
Celsius
Holy
is Fahrenheit.
Or 275 degrees Kelvin, if you really want the scientific.
All right. Okay, that's a bit cold for summer. I think the calendar might be a bit off on this.
Celsius gang, rise up.
If you need summer temperatures, you're looking between 80 to 90 degrees.
Okay, I will have to revisit the calendar and the temperature gauge, because it does tell me it's in summer, I believe, but I might have the temperature set wrong.
I mean, if it's super early in the,
Oh, well, this will be
believable at
the
7.
temperature over the whole day. So
Somewhere between 26 and 34 degrees Celsius would be summer temperatures.
yeah, that's fine. I'll tweak the calendar once again. All right. So we're on the day before the big celebration, and so the final sort of chance for anyone to do anything additional. I obviously assume, Alexandra, you're doing your last bit of retraining. Obviously, Burnt, you'll obviously be spending part of the day very tired and sluggish, but also training troops.
Yeah.
You will be probably suffering fatigue for today.
Mm-hmm.
At least definitely after you've finished training the troops. Um,
I do have one question.
yes.
I'll probably sleeping at Opal's Tavern. Do I see a wishful pen around there?
I mean, wishful pen is probably not necessarily staying at the Opal's Tavern unless will probably be staying in the temple as she has a place she can stay there. She will come and like check in with everybody and stuff like that. Um, as I said, she is friendly to the group and seems keen to help everybody as best she can, and kind of one is being very proactive to sort of if somebody does call over to do something, then she's more than happy to assist. So people can grab wishful pen if they wish for things.
I grab wishful pen.
She gives an eat as you do.
Wishful, I need I need a favor.
Certainly, Nightshine. What favour do you need?
Do you think you can arrange for me to go talk with that smart guy in the library? Think his name was something with legends.
Oh, maybe. I don't know if he'll be available given what's going on tomorrow.
It doesn't need to be soon.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's probably okay once after tomorrow, maybe, depending. I'll ask, definitely, and let you know.
Thank you.
Everyone's just like crazy busy. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Well, she gives you a wave. See you at the Sun Summer Festival tomorrow.
Yes, we have to get drunk together.
I'll have a drink, definitely.
Yeah, I'll let her go.
So yeah, that's something she can sort out. It will just take a bit of time.
Yeah.
The only other person who wanted to do something in the morning was Milk Thistle, I believe.
Milk Thistle, yes. Milk Thistle is going to go to the noble area, walk up to the guardhouse, and politely ask to be let in. May I enter?
Uh, they will just merely check where you wish to go.
I wish to speak to Crystal Heart.
That is the young one, isn't it? I'm just checking my brain.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, Ember Heart is the elder
Older
father,
one.
Crystal Heart's the young man.
Right. They kind of give you an odd look and go, and is he? Um, they will. How long has it been? Yeah, they probably will remember. Um, one of the guards goes, "Try not to cause too much trouble. We will have to come and sort it out, and we definitely don't want to end up in the stocks because you've upset him again."
Milk Thistle smiles. There should be no trouble at all.
All right. And you are allowed to come in, given that you've been in here many times and are semi-welcome.
And if I recall correctly, their house was here.
I believe that's probably about right. Obviously, it's changed a little bit since the other map, so that will be more than happy that be their house.
Okay. And Milk Thistle will knock on the door.
So it will probably be their servant that actually answers the door, to be honest. It will be sort of a well-dressed butler. Open the door and sort of will greet you kindly and ask what business do you have?
Good morning. I was wondering if Lord Crystal Heart were available. I'd like to speak to him.
I believe he's I believe he is awake, but I do not know if he's fully risen from his sleeping chamber. But I can inquire. May I ask business and your name?
Milk Thistle, here on a business of the Nightmare Temple.
I will pass on the message. If you if you remain here, and if you are welcoming, I will come and allow you to enter. If not, I will confirm when you are able to return.
Thank you.
And he disappears in. He's not gone for too long, like 5-ish minutes. And after that, the doors reopened, and he says, "If you please follow me to the waiting room, and the young master will be with you shortly."
And Milk Thistle will enter.
And you're shown to the chamber, and there will be a servant that will come in and ask if you do wish any refreshments.
All right. What do we have for refreshments?
They do have a selection of teas. I believe they can also offer you coffee. That's generally what's normally offered during the morning. Oh no, you can also have carrot juice as well, or tomato juice.
Milk Thistle will stick with tea.
And you'll probably be given a wide selection of teas to choose from. I think.
We'll have some chamomile tea for breakfast, I suppose.
And they will go, and you will be given your tea. Just as it's sort of like not too hot where you don't want to drink it, but it's just cool enough where you're, but still warm and you can drink it. That's when Crystal Heart will enter the room. You can tell by his demeanour that he does have bags under his eyes, and he sort of walks with somebody who's not necessarily had the best night's sleep.
Well, upon seeing him, Milk Thistle will place down his cup of tea and rise to his hooves. Good morning, Lord Crystalheart. Thank you very much for seeing me. And he will actually give a reverent bow to Crystalheart.
He looks to you and goes, why am I so terrible with names?
Did you legit forget my name or the
No,
beggar's
not
name?
your name. I'm trying to remember the head of the Nightmares Temple's name.
Midnight Vision.
Midnight Vision. I knew it was Midnight, but I couldn't think of the other bit. Has Midnight Vision sent you? Am I able to visit the temple a day early?
That's yet to be seen. I'm actually here of my own accord. I wanted to visit with you because the last time you and I spoke, we did not leave on good terms. I trust you got my gift.
There's a moment where it's obviously clogs obviously turn, and you realise there's a moment of recognition on his face when he has recalled who you are at this point. That you've kind of jogged his memory, and there's a moment where he's sort of caught off guard, but obviously he tries to readjust himself, but it's not nearly as probably hidden as it would be if he wasn't probably as a little bit sleep deprived as he is.
Well, Milk Thistle is holding his bow until it's returned to him.
Yeah, and he gives a sort of half, almost awkward bow, and not like probably as, I don't know how fully low you go. He probably doesn't bow as low, or at least enough to be respectful, but obviously not as low what a servant would necessarily do, type of thing.
Yeah, it's Milk Thistle has definitely taken the more subservient position. So if you ever watch how Japanese people bow to each other, the more subservient bows lower than the one they're showing respect to.
Yeah. So there's still that aspect, and he answers, um, yes, I did receive the gift of. I can't remember what alcohol it was, but
It was brandy.
brandy. Yeah. Yes, I did receive the gift of brandy, I believe.
And after receiving the bell, Milk Thistle will stand back up nice and straight, smiling. And then, after smiling at him, he takes a very somber expression to his face. And he says, I did mean that as a peace offering. I understand that given your station, I did not show you the proper levels of respect. And I just wanted to apologize in person and hope that moving forward, that we can serve the betterment of this city together.
Yes, yes. I see your time, uh, your punishment has helped helped you learn. He says a little bit awkwardly. I'm sure you no hard feelings were met, but obviously boundaries were crossed that day.
And given that understanding, Milk Thistle will get a more calm demeanor and start smiling again. I did speak with Midnight Vision recently. I understand that there's been new developments in your change of religion. Is that correct?
I I have visited the temple of the nightmare. Yes, it's it eases the it eases things. He goes. Uh, you get the sense he might be not sure what more to say, um, but he's obviously he picked his words carefully.
I gotcha. Well, Milk Thistle will turn sideways and kind of gesture toward the seats where the tea are, where the tea is. It's like, may we sit down? I'd like to speak to you about it.
He will come and sit down. A servant probably will enter in and he will ask for coffee, which they will go and get.
Oftentimes, worship of the nightmare is met with jarring visions, especially while we sleep. Sometimes it makes it impossible to sleep. Have you experienced these things?
Uh, he he gives a nod and he goes, I have been told such things, yes. Uh, some have indicated it is a blessing to receive such visions, if even if they're as traumatic as they sometimes can be.
Oftentimes, the nightmare communicates to us through our dreams. She is fear incarnate, terrifying in vision and thought. But that fear is what keeps our minds sharp. It's what's keeping us on the tips of our hooves, especially with the dangers that are approaching. I'm sure you're fully aware of the army that is just days away, correct?
It's all what everyone's talking about, at least on this side of the wall. On the other side, it's all about tomorrow.
I've spent many decades studying dreams, my lord, and one of the things I'd like to offer you is the chance to interpret your dreams. I'm very interested in knowing what the nightmare brings to you. If you'll share with me, I'll do my best to let you know these messages.
Okay, so he will share his most recent one, which is actually I need to double check my notes because I don't know if there was some. I remember there was some stipulations in regards to what will stop the nightmares. Was there any stipulation to what the nightmares were? I haven't got anything here. But I
In regards to the spell itself, I believe I placed conditional curse upon him.
Yeah.
That was simply that he would be filled with nightmares in his mind to where he could not sleep unless he visited the Nightmare Temple.
Yeah.
So what Midnight Vision has done is essentially forced him to go through tears deprivation for several days.
Mm. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that what I was going with wasn't going to be against the theme of what if there was anything there. So, um, he he says his last dream. In his last dream, he awoken to find himself bound to barbed wire, and a mare with a knife approached him. She had white. Her hair was white, but her face was young, and all he remembers is sort of waking up just as she plunged the knife into his gut.
We'll introducing our new enemy.
That was his most recent vivid dream.
All right, and Milk Thistle is going to interpret dream.
Okay. Now let's see. How could you interpret this? So this is the issue with dream interpretations. Again, a very personal thing, so a lot of it is based upon your own views.
See, you're on a fucking bird.
So the first one on there, which jumps out to you, is the barbed wire. I'm just going to double check something before I'm about to stick the hoof in my mouth. Make sure I'm right.
The one thing I would say giving me an advantage is that since I have chosen nightmares as my specialty of study, I've pursued that knowledge almost like a scholar would one specific realm of knowledge. And so that would give me an edge in knowing the intent of the nightmare for nightmares given from her directly.
Okay, so the barbed wire um, can be interpreted as what the nightmare's holy symbol is, because it's described a hoof wrapped in jagged iron wire, which could be referred to as barbed wire. I technically don't think barbed wire exists in this universe, so that's iron jagged wire. So that could be a representation of the nightmare, her holy symbol, being present. The fact that was wrapped, it was binding him to, so stopping him from moving. You can easily sort of interpret that it's her hold upon him, holding him still, not allowing him to escape, to pull away. Obviously, I assume you're probably not going to be telling him necessarily all of this, but and almost the control aspect of the nightmare side of things. Now the mare, with the white hair and young face. Now there isn't any symbolism in regards to particular individuals or mares or anything like that with with that sort of description. So she can represent numerous things, from excuse me about things. Things like depending on the again, a lot of this can be a bit more personal. So it could be like somebody's purity, so because they're young with the white hair, or somebody's innocence maybe. That is also another possibility. Um, Obviously, in the fact that then she then stabbed him in the gut could be seen as obviously trying to trying to obviously cut or remove a piece of him, Perhaps they were cutting him to get back into him, in regards to, obviously, if it's representation of his innocence or naivety or something like that. The other possibility is, obviously, it's just there to um, for the shock value. The mayor itself might represent an individual that he knows, somebody he might have done wrong, and it could be them obviously causing him pain or as punishment to get back at him.
The milk thistle stops sipping his tea, puts a cup down, and strokes his beard as he's listening to this. And I'm not sharing what I'm typing down. These are just the notes that I put.
No, that's fine.
And milk thistle will ask, the mare with the young face, did you recognize her?
He thinks, I'm not sure. I tried to look upon her, but it's like every time I tried to, it sort of just slipped away from my vision almost. Like there was a face, but then there wasn't.
Well, milk thistle smiles, and he pulls out his holy symbol, and he shows it to him. He's like, do you see this? The hoof prints wrapped with the barbed wire. This is the holy symbol of the nightmare. You've no doubt seen other clerics and priests wear it with them, and you've seen this symbol in our temple.
He gives a nod.
The barbed wire that is tying you down, cutting into your flesh, is the holy symbol of the nightmare. She has hold of you. She's claimed you, which means that you have purpose for her. The young face and the white hair represents purity, innocence. And this innocence that stands over you, stabbing into you, the knife is trying to cut out and remove this innocence that you've had for so long. Forgive me my impertinence, my lord, but I must speak honestly with you if I'm to interpret your dream properly. May I speak candidly?
Okay.
You've been a spoiled brat for far too many years, living off of your father's influence and wealth. The nightmare is reaching out to you and taking hold of you because your moment of destiny is rising, and it is time to put those things away and to claim what is finally yours, your birthright.
He he sits there thinking on what you said. The servant will come in and bring his coffee and places it down next, and obviously will leave. And he's definitely pondering what you have said carefully, and he definitely seems deep in thought to your words. And then he finally goes, and following the nightmare's guidance, that will lessen these visions, given that I'm following what she wishes of me.
Milk smiles, but his eyes become incredibly fierce, and he says, it is not about lessening the hardship and the burden in your life. That is not what the nightmare teaches. She does not coddle us. It is about you gaining the strength to overcome your fear. Always fear the nightmare. She is terror, she is power. She can destroy with a single thought. You are responsible for giving her your strength. And when we fear the nightmare, we needn't fear anything else. I cannot promise you these nightmares will go away, because that is how oftentimes she will communicate with us. But know that when she reaches out to you and touches your mind, it is a moment for you to gain wisdom and to show your strength. If you want these nightmares to stop, you must obey her. This is true. But do not think they will stop forever. My lord, the time has come for you to claim your birthright and claim your destiny. Are you prepared to do so?
Um, he he takes in a deep breath. It's probably the best way. Uh, and finally goes, I suppose it doesn't matter if I am ready. It is time for it to be done. I mean, my grandfather's as senile as he is, and I've just been sort of not not doing things and trying to. He, he stops himself because he realises he's just talking nonsense, and he goes, "I think I understand what I must be doing at this point. I thank you, Milk Thistle, for interpreting interpreting this message."
Milk Thistle will smile and nod. And the butler, has the butler returned to the kitchen, or is he still there standing with us?
Oh no, he would have left to your business.
All right. Which door did he leave through?
The same door
Did
you
he go
came in
back in?
from.
Did he go back into the kitchen?
He walked out into the hallway, which would have probably been. He probably then went off to the kitchen or one of the other rooms, or for all you know, he might just be on the other side, because obviously you can't see through a door.
All right. And with that, Milk Thistle will stand up and he will cast silence on the doorway, far enough away to where Crystal Heart and I are outside the boundary of it.
Okay. You probably would have to walk a little bit further down to the room, but not by much. Just so you would be able to talk, obviously.
So Milk Thistle will guide him over there, and as soon as we're outside the cone of silence, essentially, Milk Thistle will lock eyes with him. My lord, what are you prepared to do?
Well, take up my grandfather's seat at this point. And,
Milk Thistle will nod, but you cannot do that while he draws breath.
I mean, the old fool, he's beyond his any understanding. I'm sure the others will understand my stepping into his position.
But even with his incontinence, as long as he lives, you will never truly hold his title.
At that point, the realization of basically what you're implying hits him like a ton of
Do it.
bricks.
Do it.
And he looks at you with like a shock and surprise. Um,
Bruh.
and he looks lost for words is probably the best way. That the fact that you're telling him to basically kill his grandfather. You can't be serious.
Milk Thistle just continues locking eyes with him.
I'm I'm sure they will show me the proper respect, and with him still locked away in his bedroom.
But by blood, it is still his title, and you will never be shown the proper respect until you have earned it fully.
I suppose it would be a mercy of sorts. He says, sort of doubting. You get the sense of doubt in his words, but he's obviously thinking of it.
My lord, the nightmare oftentimes requires us to take drastic action to secure our future, to better fund our military and the guard here. We need someone who is present in mind as well as body to take command of this. Now is the time for you to put away your foolishness and your innocence and take what is yours. I offer you the services of the Nightmare Temple. If you do not believe that you wish to get your hands dirty, then as a lord, you can command it to happen. It will not be tied to you. It will not be tied to the temple. You will have full, plausible deniability, and you will finally claim your birthright. You need only give the word.
All right.
This is like some heavy shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Am I shaking the GM? I'm just trying to have a good
No. I'm
story.
just trying to think of how. Because I'm trying to think of how pliable he
Guys
is at the
just
moment, given
told he needs to kill his dad.
his
Well,
state of mind and stuff like that.
Yeah, GM, if I could offer you this, he's been away from the Nightmare Temple for how many days? So how long has he not been able to sleep?
It's been almost a week, basically.
Almost
It'll be
a
a
week,
week
okay.
tomorrow.
All right. Okay, so 6 days. 6 days without sleep. You are suffering from hallucinations, but more importantly, you are heavily open to suggestion.
Oh, okay.
Sleep deprivation is one of the surest ways to gain compliance from somebody and to get them to confess to things they normally wouldn't have, because your brain has not had time to rest and recover from the stress that it's been under. And the longer it continues, the more strenuous and the more severe the conditions become.
He's gonna develop psychosis.
As a matter of fact, yeah, after about 3 days of no sleep, you gain the symptoms of psychosis and schizophrenia.
Ah, shit.
Okay, right, yeah, that makes sense. Because that was the one big thing I was trying to think of, is his state of mind. Because I was trying to think of, right, he's been awake this long, what on earth is going through his brain? So he will probably, at your offer of help, he will probably go, no, no. If anything, if anyone, it has to be, me. It can't be anyone else.
Milk Thistle will tilt his head. If it must be you, then you must not get your hands dirty. No one must be able to tie it back to you. As a lord, you command, and that is what these people need. They need you to command and lead them. Command me.
Um, he he uh, he looks at you and just sort of stares in sort of just straight back at you, and goes. He's still sleeping in his bedchamber on the second floor, and he tells you the room and basically how to get there. Uh, if you go now, most will probably just think he passed in his sleep.
Within 24 hours, you will have your birthright. And with that, Milk Thistle will go up the stairs to the second floor.
He would also point out like a service like exit to get out and sort of so you would be able to leave the room without being noticed. Because there would be those sort of rooms in here, like doors.
Damn, Milk Thistle. You cold hell.
Milk Thistle will nod, and when he reaches the top of the stairs, he is once again okay. Stop being me. He will once again cast silence, so that way no one can hear what is taking place.
Yeah.
And he enters the door, so that way once he's inside, everyone can, or people who are inside, will be able to hear. And oh my gosh, please stop.
Set yourself.
Yeah,
This
alright.
is why,
Set yourself.
this is why you put on busy.
Why you go busy? Oh, shit. Right.
People will go,
Alright.
"Oh my God, you're gonna murder him!"
And then once he's inside, he closes the door. Is Emberheart still sleeping in bed?
Yes, he is.
And with that, Milk Thistle will, in his mind, picture a palm tree and lighting it on fire as he casts Violent Accident 3 times back to back.
Reflex save. That seems an odd thing to roll when you. Oh wait, no, it's the reflex
You
save.
fantastic killing, my dude.
It's the reflex save when it
Uh,
happens.
So a tilde on this spell, with the spell will discharge within 1 day at a random time. And essentially the target has to make a reflex save or they will suffer 5d8 worth of damage from something.
Okay.
Could be an explosion, could be something falling on them, he could slip and fall down the stairs. But 3 random times within the next 24 hours, he will suffer the effects of this spell.
Okay.
And once that is done, Milk Thistle will walk out the door, close it behind him, and he will take the servant exit that was pointed out to him by Crystal Heart.
Understood.
Well, this just got pretty damn dark.
Yeah, I'm just hoping Alexandrite never finds out, because
Alexander finds out. Well, it's time to purge.
If we did this correctly, no one would find out.
Oh,
No one saw anything, no one heard anything. There was just an awful thing to happen to an old man, but thankfully, Crystal Heart was there to take on the mantle.
I mean, hey, who knows? He might have slipped and fell in the shower.
Yeah, who knows what's going to happen.
5d8 damage from slipping in the shower. Shit, man.
But GM, once I take the exit, which part of the house do I exit by?
You. Oh, the 7 sort of exit he showed you was to get out of the room and get up the stairs. So it doesn't lead outside.
Sweet.
It was so you could get up to the upstairs floor without being seen.
All right, so is he waiting in the hallway for me, or do I need to go back downstairs?
He probably would. He probably would have waited in the room where you left, basically. So for all anybody knows, you're still in that room, so to speak.
All right. Milk Thistle will. Oh, I think it's been long enough. Yeah, it's only rounds per level for silence, so that spell will have expired. Milk Thistle will return to the room
And
and look at Lord Crystal Heart.
he will probably be sitting in his chair, just drinking his coffee at this point.
He was like, bruh, I just killed my dad.
Milk Thistle has a calm expression, but a slight smile on his face. Lord Crystal Heart.
No pistol? Is it? Is everything? Everything here completed, or is there anything else we need to discuss?
Everything is in order. I
Very-
anticipate we will be visiting you once again at the temple very soon. In the
that
meantime,
oh,
in the meantime, see to your grandfather.
well, then let me at least walk you out. As he will basically lead you to the front door so you can head out.
And Milk Thistle will give him a reverent bow once more. Thank you for your time, my lord.
And thank you and the services of the Nightmare Temple.
Milk Thistle will stand up from his bow, and he'll begin walking back to the front gate.
Before they both get run over by a cart.
Oh,
All right.
A cat?
yeah, I'm being demanded to open the back door so they're outside.
Oh, shoot.
I mean, that's what cats. That's what cats do.
Right.
The cat.
With that, was there anything else you wish to do, Milk Thistle? Or is...
Yes, Milk Thistle is pondering the conversation that he had with Midnight Vision the night before, seeing how I might have to be giving up something of myself, and his thoughts go to his family. He has not visited his family in Clovenhame for many, many years, but he always sends a letter to his mother on her birthday. And it's getting close to her birthday, so he prepared sending, and he's going to send her a message. And I'll get that typed out to you if we need to move on.
That's fine.
Ah.
I will probably...
Assassinated someone, one guy's family, go visit another. You know.
I will probably have to...
Hopefully we can. I want everybody to meet Milk Thistle's parents. They're sweet.
I will probably have to
I
sit
think
and
that's
think of
clothing.
how she would reply, so that will probably take me a bit longer to remember what I'd set out for them. So yeah, I'll probably... Your response will probably come during the week in regards to that one.
Mom, how are you? Still an old man today.
You probably leave that bit out. Alright. I think everybody's mostly doing sort of basic roleplay stuff. I don't, which sort of happening in the background. I don't think anyone's doing anything in particular, unless I'm incorrect.
After he's done with with training the recruits, obviously Bird would be heading back to the Hall of Unification.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, I might be half asleep, or oh shit, nope, we just went off the map. That's the head down section.
Oh, your mic just exploded, my dude.
Yeah. That was pretty bad.
It's like
You were like an Xbox 360 preteen.
oh shit, sorry. So yeah, he heads back to the Hall of Unification and is going to keep on looking around,
Did I
seeing if he can't find that place.
I did get you to roll both days already, or was it just one? Okay, but you have a symbol to possibly be looking for. I will let you roll me another perception check.
Oh, great.
You probably won't be able to search as long as you did previously, as you're very fatigued tonight.
Yeah.
So you are obviously feeling the effects. It is hard going. You are yet to come across any additional symbols as of yet.
All right. Well, let's see. In game, what time is it right now?
Well, for you, you are probably looking at around about 11 p.m. at night, when you would probably consider stopping before you.
Yeah, he's gonna stop for the night. Hmm. He is going to head back to the park where the ship is at, and he's just gonna. Is it? Question, Steel. If Burned were to burn himself out, like to work until he passes out, is it possible that he could end up with a dream at all?
Um, so you just work until you're exhausted and fall on your hooves.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it might be a more nonsensical dream just because of how tired you are. It probably won't be anything too meaningful.
Fair enough. Hmm. He's just gonna head to bed. He's like,
There is.
the
You do know of ways to get more meaningful dreams, though. You can
True.
go and visit the.
Go see that zebra. Get some drugs.
Well, no, you can go to the nightmare ceremony, and you can drink the ceremonial tea, which they do offer, and you may get a vision or a dream /
Yeah.
nightmare.
You know what? Yeah, that sounds about good. Plus being fatigued, it should help out. So that's what he's gonna do.
Now it's been such a long time. I've got to remember what the bloody tea was you drink for it. And look, Chris, I don't suppose you remember what tea it was. What helps you dream?
Off the top of my head, no. I think it's simply called nightmare tea, to be honest.
It might be.
Oh, dream tea?
Might be.
Dream tea, maybe.
That's a drug. It lets you dream.
Yeah, I think that's what we sip on whenever we do our ceremonies and try to bring some dreams about.
Green tea. That sounds about right.
They
Okay.
had that with a psychopath, and they tried to.
It is Dreamtime tea.
Dreamtime tea. We go.
Yeah, Dreamtime. I
Slightly.
had that with a psychopath in another game that I made friends with.
Only 60% chance of receiving a meaningful reply. Okay, cool. Okay, it's not going to be quite as bad as that because we're not counting it as a drug, and you don't just straight away pass out. But I think I was using that as a baseline. But yeah, I think that's something similar to what the theme of it. What I was going for anyway. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so you have your tea. Alright. I am going to roll a hidden D100 and see if it's how meaningful it is. It is that meaningful. Alright. So I need to find my things. Here we go. Alright. Burn, roll me a D100.
All right. Public, right, or blind?
Blind, please.
All right.
No, back. You receive so you dream that you are sitting around a bonfire. Um, you are able to make out a mix of friends, um, friends and slash family, depending on how close you see your fellow companions. But you are also able to make out strangers, but the strangers are they're there enjoying the bonfire, but yet there's almost a feeling of distance from them, like they're not quite there, but they are there. I'm just before I say this, I'm trying to check what the hell I've written down here, because I've obviously googled this and I can't remember what I'm referring to. I've lost my page now. There we go. And they seem to be wearing it's pronounced garland, almost.
Garland?
Yeah, it's almost like a mixture of like plants and stuff wrapped together in sort of like a pattern.
Yeah.
And it appears to be a mixture of holly and willow leaves.
Hmm. All right.
That is what your dream consists of.
Yeah, so as soon as he wakes up from the dream and the sleep, he just sort of lays there in bed for a few moments, staring at the ceiling as he's trying to process all of it. And he'll eventually get up out of bed and go to meet up with the others.
Alright. Just before we do move to the new day, anybody else want to do anything on the 48th before we go to the 49th?
Yes, Milk Thistle has a message to send to his mother.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I will.
There's that, and cast that spell.
Okay, I'm just
So
gonna.
yes, Milk Thistle reaches out to his mother and says, "Hello, mother. Your son is doing well. I'm reaching out, hoping you and father are safe and happy. Villager Town is prepared for the worst."
Right, I am gonna just pop the message in PM's review just so I've got a refresher there, and I will give you a response back as I go find my notes on your family.
Think Jewish sitcom. That's essentially my family.
Oh God.
Yeah, especially my mother. She is extremely Jewish. I don't know why, but when I was thinking of Milk Thistle's family, I imagined his mother being incredibly Jewish.
But I'll give you a response when I have one. Anybody else throughout the day? Obviously, Lightning, you're obviously dealing with your roguey stuff. I can't think of the word. Alexandrite, you're finishing off your training. Nightshine, you're doing research. And I think that's everybody for the mostly of everything.
Yeah.
Cool. Alright, so I'm going to press the button to move to the next holy day. Alexandrite, you are expected to be up at dawn, well, before dawn, ready, standing ready, presented to the. You're expected to. I'll start again. You're expected to be up early, ready for the morning sun to arise.
All right.
Being a follower of the Sun Queen, that is something which is expected of you. Because obviously, you cannot miss the first hour of the most holy day for your deity.
Of course.
Yeah, that would be upsetting.
It would be. Let's just hit the next day. So the 49th of Sol. Alright. So
Turkey on Christmas.
surprisingly enough, with this day, when as the night was starting to go on, with those of you who are up late would have seen this, the cloud cover and stuff like that looked like it was. I mean, if you were anybody who could predict weather and stuff like that, you would probably say that today would be torrential rains, but instead it is clear sunny skies. If you had to do any prediction, you would have got it horrendously wrong. So Alexandrite, the morning starts off slow and fairly normal in regards to what you expect a normal first hour of any Summer's Festival day to go for most places. It seems pretty standard. But once that is done, you are very much roped into some preparations and ready for like festival stuff. There's been a lot of it placed out ready for obviously leading up to today. But as people start waking up, more is put up, more tents, more sort of games and activities areas. But it's very clear that there's been a big change around the temple itself. There seems to be more guards, and they've brought out obviously various things so that a speaker would be able to stand underneath the arch here, which is at the front, to speak out directly to any crowds that would be gathered within this area here. And once everybody starts waking up, numerous young clerics and paladins, and you, I'm afraid, as you fall into that category, are given the charge to run round the city, calling for all those to attend in audience to the All Seasons Temple for a grand announcement.
Well, I shall do my part and head off and deliver that message to people. Get my sun celebration bell.
Hey.
Is it a cowbell?
No, it's got to be better than a cowbell.
Yes.
Like a brass bell on a pole at least.
But
Fair
yes,
enough.
You will be sent
I have
out.
church bell to yourself.
You will be sent out to deliver that message all around the city. You guys would probably hear it multiple times called out from various different points. If anyone who does stay, say, at Opal's Tavern, you'll probably find that Opal will probably sort of wake you up and encourage that you head over to the temple, as there's going to be some sort of grand announcement. Because I don't know
Alright.
I don't know where everybody is sleeping, but if you're in the temple, you're definitely up. If you're elsewhere, there's enough noise and shouting for people to, for the commotion to arise you from your slumber.
Yeah, Burned will head over to the temple.
And Milk Thistle would have slept there, so he's already awake once the bells start ringing.
Yeah.
Good morning, Burned.
Good morning. I had a dream last night. I don't know if it's anything of importance. I was sitting around a bonfire with young members, and as you know, I consider all of you family, all the things we've been through. It was you guys and a bunch of other friends of ours. I was also able to make out strangers who were enjoying the bonfire. They felt distant and not quite there, but they were there. Uh, Everyone seemed to have been wearing a garland of what appeared to be holly. English is hard. Holly and willow leaves.
Interesting. And GM, I rolled Interpret Dreams to see if I can gain any information from it.
Okay. This is where I check on interpretations of various symbolisms. This one. So obviously surrounded by friends, family, and even strangers around sort of bonfire type activity is obviously like a communal thing, a group activity. The fact he can't elaborate more on the stranger side of things does hinder it a little bit more, but it could represent a coming together or a group coming together. It could be of one of two groups meeting or three groups meeting. The strangers makes it a bit harder to know how much of a coming together it was. I actually need to double check the symbolism of the holly and willow leaves. That one escapes me completely.
Burned, what else have you learned in regards to the author?
Well, I wasn't able to find any priests, but I managed to find there's a scroll inside its home inside of the temple with symbols on them. I haven't really learned anything besides what's in there, and the symbol that I found of the Chaos Hunters is going to help out a bit more. With that, he reaches into his backpack and takes out the poorly drawn symbol. Sadly, there were really no priests I could tell.
Alright, so willow leaves have the symbolism of balance, harmony, and growth. Growth we experience through these storms and life changes. And holly can symbolize, can represent the symbol of fertility, eternal life, and thought to also to a degree have magical powers. but that is more of a belief from a druid standpoint with Holly.
We'll come back to that symbol in a moment, but in regards to your dream, the group of strangers are very hard to pin down. It actually complicates the understanding of the dream overall. 1 to 3 groups coming together, your friends and family being very self-explanatory, of course, because we'll likely all be together today. The will itself is a meaning of balance, harmony, and growth, life changes, and the holly symbolizes fertility, eternal love, and has magical powers. At least from a druid standpoint. I don't know if I buy into that personally.
Hmm. Do you think Midnight Vision would be able to help out a little bit more shedding light on that?
Midnight Vision is wise and he guides us well, but for interpreting dreams, he likely can't tell you more than I've shown you already.
Fair enough.
Fertility, eternal love, and magical powers. Are you planning on meeting a stranger and starting a family on your own tonight?
I. Well, he at that he kind of gives a bit of a laugh and a snort, and he goes, "Well, I personally, I don't know. I mean, whatever the author and the nightmare wish, the gods are the ones that lead us. So it's whatever they wish. If they so desire it, then well, it's bound to happen."
Just remember, as you serve the nightmare, it is not she who simply guides you. It is through our self-determination that we achieve our goals.
Fair enough.
Nothing is ever nothing is ever given to you. You must take it for yourself.
This is true.
In regards to these symbols, chasing symbols has always been frustrating. But
Indeed.
symbols are often used as a means of communicating to keep it hidden. So this will definitely be a challenge for you. If you want answers, you will have to strive for them.
Indeed.
Did you learn anything more from the um, unification hall itself?
I was in there near the end of the night last night, and I was fatigued to where it made it a bit hard to gather more information. So I think during the festivities uh, today, I'm gonna do my best to see what I can find in there, because it is important, and us being in dire straits and all.
If you see Wishful Pin or Nightshine, ask them if they can give you any additional information.
Roger. I suppose we should head in now.
Yes, the bells have been ringing like crazy for the last few minutes. Let's see what they're on about.
Indeed.
Alright, so big crowd together, and it seems not probably every pony, but a large portion of the city anyway, gather in the area, as well as obviously in the temple and all sorts of things. And finally, the sort of head of the All Seasons Temple, who I do have a name for. Notes, here we go. Who is named, which I believe you do know the name of, as I think some of you have met him before. He is called Endless Story.
Ultimate History.
Sorry?
Something like Ultimate History?
No, it was Endless Story.
Yeah.
Will step up and will begin to address the crowds. Something obviously has been done magically to help amplify his voice, so it seems to be more booming, so it carries a lot further. So even those who were a bit of a distance away, excuse me, can still hear what he has to say. The gist of his opening sort of ceremony speech is obviously welcoming everybody to this wonderful gathering to celebrate the wonderful day that normally represents when the Sun Queen can visit and descend upon the heavens down to visit. It would be a grand honour for her to obviously to visit us upon this day, but obviously the gods are always always the gods are not ones who you can call down. They come if we show our faith is strong enough. So all those gathered here, show that your faith is strong today, and the Sun Queen may yet visit us, and we may be able to bask in her greatness for her visit. But we do have a visit from an individual who has not been seen within the walls of the city for many generations. And she has returned to us. One second. She has returned back to us, though this is not. It is not in life, but in death. And returning to us so that we can ensure that what she represented lives on, and that we remember what she once stood for. And there's like a kind of a sort of a big glow from inside the temple. People with spellcraft, if you want to know what kind of happened, you can make a spellcraft check if you wish. There's
I want to try.
sudden sort of burst of light. What kind of sort of runs up the temple? I'm afraid you do not know.
Is this blind or?
Yeah, because obviously you won't know if you. So Milk Thistle, you're really stumped on this one. Exactly what happened. It seems very confusing. Nightshine, you know exactly what just happened. Numerous priests strategically placed around the temple cast and dismissed sunlight to give the feeling of basically like sunlight suddenly descending down upon the temple from the tip downwards. Alexandra, you would also work this out as well.
Nice.
So it's almost, it feels like a beam of light, like sunlight has just basically come straight down into the temple. And in one of the more open, sort of clear areas, which guards, which has been roped off, and there are various temple guards stood there to make sure no one fills up that area. When the sort of burst of light dissipates and everyone stops blinking for a bit, there will be the Queen's, let's say, esophagus again. Sarcophagus? No. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Her marble tomb, basically, that is there with steel, obviously, stood next to it, as well as the temple guardians around the outside. And he then calls, the Queen has returned to us. May she be a beacon for what she once stood for. Ponies united as one and coming together to unite. And something that we are needed even more given the dire circumstances that we do enter this celebration on. As much as you want to go and have fun, games, and enjoy such a holy day, do know that after this day we will be potentially fighting for us to have a day much like this the following year. Look upon her, what she represents, and the fact that she is returned to us now, be a symbol that we can unite as one and hold back the tide that is coming to wash over us and attempt to drag us away. He probably would share a few more notable things, potentially reading out some inspirational words that the Sun Queen herself may have uttered, or and probably a few snippets that the Queen Iliana has said, probably mostly around like the founding of the empire and referring to obviously the unification of all the tribes. To basically begin the celebrations of the Summer's Festival. And it will all finish with the singing of a traditional Sun Queen's song, and once that has finished, everyone is then allowed to disperse and basically take part in the festival type activities and the fun and games. Numerous people do obviously stick around the temple to go and obviously see the Queen, so to speak, and that does pique a lot of interest.
Is the tomb open?
No.
Oh.
Do we have the lyrics to the song? We should sing it together.
I do not have a Sun Queen song, I'm afraid.
Hey now, you're an all-star.
Oh, wait, go ahead. You got one.
You're an all-star.
Yeah.
Oh, I had one more fitting. Here comes the sun, do do do. Here comes the sun, do do do. And it's alright, do 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 do.
What if Mr. Blue Sky?
The sun will come up tomorrow.
Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Let's see, one more. I'm walking on sunshine, yeah. I'm walking on sunshine, whoa. And it kind of feels good. Hey! Da, 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 da. All right, yeah, we sing our chorus and we have a good time. Everybody's clapping and rejoicing.
Pretty much. I mean,
So,
you just
sorry.
Sorry. Just shouting at the
I think we butchered those songs well enough to where we're not going to get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
I would be impressed if it goes, oh no, you were singing, it's copyright strike.
How dare you use your voice to sing my song?
DMCA takedown.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
It's like
Good, Lightning. Nobody cussed this entire game. Why did you have to mess that up for us?
What? I am not a swearer. I did not swear. I said buck.
No, you did not.
I said buck. You're a liar, sir.
No, you are a liar, madam.
No, you're a liar.
No, you.
No, you.
See, this
no,
is one.
you both.
This is one of the festival games. It's a game of blame the other person.
Yeah.
Hey, did you take my cookies? No, she didn't. No, it was you. No, you. No, him.
You stole a cookie from the cookie jar.
Everyone but me.
Goodness.
So, yeah, as soon as the festivities end, Bird is. Hmm?
You're skipping through like 15 hours of potential fun here.
Yeah, we have games.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You must play Pin the Tail on the Paladin.
Sure.
So what does that mean? Are we gonna cut Alexandrite's tail off and like get some duct tape or super glue and just try to like stick it right on his ass?
I
No,
like how you think.
Why do we have to cut it off? We can use magic.
I can heal him and just put the tail back on.
You can heal him.
I don't think you can heal. I don't think he'll regrow his hair.
Maybe you can't.
Ah,
I mean, there is restoration.
the bigger spells probably can.
Regeneration is I think it's either a 7th or an 8th level spell.
It's super high. That's why I still don't have my ear.
Yep.
Hmm.
It is a very
All right.
powerful
Well,
spell.
You can grow your ear back.
Nightshine, you've not done much except do research this entire time. What kind of games do you want to play?
Drink.
You want to drink?
There's probably like a drinking game somewhere.
There is, there is definitely a mixture of food, alcohol, all that sorts of thing that you are able to purchase. You'll find that the temple is offering free food, like almost like as a banquet type thing on the on the temple grounds. But Alexandra, you would know as part of your help to set up some stuff in the morning that this was done so that people from the temple could cast certain spells to actually create food. So most of that food is magical rather than actually made. Very
Well,
good.
breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
So there is plenty of fun game activities and stuff like that people can do, but we kind of did a little bit, a fair bit of like role play stuff and some other in between bits which were fairly interesting. So. So we went on for a little bit longer than I was anticipating. So what I'll probably do is save you guys taking part in some of the fun activities and games for next week. As sadly I do have to work this Saturday and I don't want to be up too late. And I don't really want to stop.
So we're going to call it here?
Yeah, and I don't really want to stop it halfway through like the games and stuff. So
Understandable.
we will save
In that case, I will save that message for next week. But the message that Milk Thistle sent to his mother, did he get a response?
Yes, you definitely get a response pretty much straight away. I'm gonna sit and work out how I want to word it, because you gave you did well wishes. You indicated some stuff, but probably nowhere near enough that's enough for your mother, and she's definitely gonna want to know more.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wrote 25 out of 20 or 24 out of 25 words that I could send her with the spell.
Yeah. And she has to try and sum up her feelings in 25 words.
A
Do you
doting
think-
mother trying to express her feelings for her son in 25 words? Impossible.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. I get the feeling I'm probably gonna construct a message, and it's gonna probably stop halfway. You're only gonna get half the message because she's just gonna spew on. But I will. I'll have to sit when I'm a little bit less sleepy and send it to you.
Understood. Well, still, I think I say on behalf of everyone here, thank you so much for being our GM. You're doing a great job, and this has been a fantastic story. Thank you for taking the time and putting the work into helping us craft this story.
No.
Indeed, it's been really fun.
Thank you.
Well,
And
you're.
this whole thing about killing Crystal Heart's grandfather, this was planned back in like episode 49, I think. I've been trying to get it to happen for a very long time.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember that. That was a ways back.
Yeah, I mean.
I cannot remember that. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Like, I'm gonna kill him.
if you remember the time when Milk Thistle was like marching up and down the Noble Quarter trying to figure out when Ember Heart would actually leave, but we can never find a time to actually do it, that's when Milk Thistle was plotting to do that originally.
It'll be very awkward if Steel like rolls all ones on the 5d8 and he just is like mildly hurt.
That would be awkward, but given his age, I know his constitution is likely failing, and he's very unlikely to make his reflex save. So the likelihood of him rolling low enough on 3 separate rolls of 15 d8s is not likely going to happen, but it could. I mean, we'll see.
It could well do. I'm pretty sure thinking the first action is going to kill him.
Oh, you casted that 3 times on him?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's got 15 d8 worth of secret damage coming to him.
Oh, shit, maybe he is fucked.
Yeah, I'm thinking of just a load of series of unlikely events, and then the chandelier falls on him or something. Just takes all the damage at once. But no, I need to think of some interesting methods of surprise death for him.
Yeah, it could be something like he's lying on his back, starts choking on his spit, and ends up suffering a heart attack because he's asphyxiated.
But I don't know. I'm kind of. I don't want it. I mean, the first thing jumped to my mind was, oh, he fall down the stairs. But I thought that seems so lame for using a spell like this. I need to think of something a little bit more inventive.
Yes,
That movie,
I mean, you guys you probably won't learn in character how he dies, but I'll at least tell you.
I mean, he could be shaving in his bathroom, ends up slipping on the wet floor. The razor blade goes slicing clean the artery
why
in his
would
neck.
Pony be shaving?
Yeah, he's a
Why not? Oh. Huh.
oh, we've seen ponies with facial hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
wait, how does that even work?
Magic.
Yeah.
I don't have to explain anything.
No, I need explanation.
Magic, I don't have to explain nothing.
No, I need an explanation. I need.
Okay, in that case, he's getting out of the shower, ends up slipping on a bar of soap, Irish Spring that's probably just laying around, bangs his head on the toilet seat, and as he falls to the floor, he just suffer not a heart attack, but a seizure out of nowhere.
Ooh. What if a random arrow is shot and it goes through his window and it causes the canopy bed to collapse on top of him? That would be incredibly stupid. Let's not do it that way.
I can't believe we're talking about this.
It's like, what are the creative ways we can murder an old man? Let's elaborate.
I've
You
played
get
enough.
Alexandrite to accidentally fall on him while he's asleep.
I've played enough Elder Scrolls Oblivion to know how to set up accidental deaths, but this is a new low for me.
All
So
right.
here's what I'm thinking. It's the day of the ceremony. This is likely going to be something that he would want to like come outside and be a part of. So there's numerous opportunities.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
There's definitely going to be. I'm trying to work out if it's just going to be either just a random accident as he's walking through the street, or while he's taking part as in one of the carnival-esque games, and just deciding on what it's going to be. Um, but we'll see what I decide will horribly maim him. Sounds so terrible.
Oh, it's great. We're doing good work here.
Oh, definitely.
But yes.
All right.
Yeah, good work.
Yep, we'll be on for next week. I will obviously get your message back to you, and I will come up with some interesting deaths. If somebody wants to throw a suggestion, PM me it, and if I think it's interesting enough, I might use it as one of the possible ways he might die. Because you never know,
Take
he might
us,
survive the
take
first
us
one.
some.
What you're going to say, Nitro?
I was gonna say take us sunlight on him.
No, sunlight would not kill him.
Unless he's a vampire.
Maybe. Well, it all depends on where he was standing in the ceremony. If he was standing on like a balcony inside of the temple, then hey, the rail of the balcony could have been loose, and he could have lost his balance and fell to his death.
Well, I think that happening will very much ruin the symbolism of the Queen Iliana returning. If an old man suddenly falls from a balcony and goes splat. So we'll avoid that.
Yeah.
I mean, it might ruin the symbolism to the Sifsy frou-frou sun worshipping godders. You know, they're like, oh no, the ceremony's ruined. We don't want to fight now. Now the rest of us who know what's going on, it's like, oh, I see. So this ceremony is not necessary. We have to find the strength within ourselves. This will just strengthen our resolve against the enemy. Silly
Wait,
son.
Are you insane?
Little.
But yeah, I might think of some crazy Final Destination death for him.
Oh God.
Right.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that.
But we will see.
All right.
But thank you guys for coming, and I'm happy to hear that you are enjoying yourselves. I'm going to predict, campaign-wise, you're probably hitting about halfway mark, so we'll see how many more ahead of us we end up with.
Halfway?
You're gonna die.
This is what I kind of see as the halfway point.
I can't wait to depose Kara. As a good.
So, how much? Oh wait, did we get any experience?
This one is more building up towards things. So I don't think this session people will be any XP gained. But there is still potential. I mean, if you discover the entrance to the place, then you will be able to. That will grant some XP, because obviously it's a kind of request. I mean, when the old man dies, I technically can award you XP for an old pony dying. I mean, it won't be very high.
Oh god.
It won't be a very high CR rating.
Yeah.
Nah, he's gonna be whatever.
It's not the
What
fact that we're
level?
killing. It's not the fact that we're killing an old man. What Milk Thistle is doing is securing the influence of the Nightmare Temple, so he can have more direct control over the Empire.
Yeah.
We have the almost near absolute loyalty of one of the council members, strictly within the hold of the Nightmare Temple, and I was directly involved in making that happen. That story-wise should quite a
Manipulated
few
into
to be, I would
killing
think.
his father.
Yeah. Next session, I definitely have to keep going back to the unification hall, because it's like, oof.
Well,
That's
Is
really. That's
anyone?
super.
If Lightning finds out what Milk Crystal did, it's gonna be like, You did what?
Well, if anyone finds it out, I'll be impressed.
No one should see or hear what took place. It's strictly supposed to be between Milk Thistle and Crystal Heart.
Yeah.
Midnight Vision will likely find out eventually, unless he doesn't want any details. Regardless, it should just be between the two of us.
Yeah, there's no reason why anybody else will know of that. So the physically only way somebody would know what's going on if they happen to be scrying on Milk Thistle at the time, which no one no one you were aware of was.
I like how you worded that. Well done.
Indeed. All right. Well, I'll see you guys later on. Thank you
Alright.
once again.
Yep.
Oh, let's say goodbye to the stream. Avida Zayan.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, stream.
We knew you well.
All of 4 people watching, and I think I'm half of them.
And Happy New Year to everybody as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy New
Yay.